Day to me. I don't know why. I cannot wait for yet another weekend. I mean, we had lots and lots of fun on Sunday. So why shouldn't I look forward to the next weekend? I know what I'm trying to say. Well, if you missed out on Sunday, you missed quite a lot because the children had lots and lots of fun. I mean, oh my God, I danced and danced until I almost passed out. Good morning to you. 8 minutes gone past 11 already. My name is Mary Omeni Wode. You can call me the Slim Diva. You're most adorable.
And my name is Best Beauty.
So how was your yesterday? Because I know you were tired of all the, activities that took place on Sunday. Best Beauty was almost on the floor.
I must say, being a parent is not an easy job.
It's no child's play at all.
Because on Sunday was the Kiddie Santa Fiesta, and you saw a lot of the energy. And you know when you're working the whole weekday, you expect that the weekends you'd rest a bit. But now handling that kind of energy on the weekend, all these kids are just everywhere like, ah!
How many children did you chase around?
I saw a couple of children, and they were some of them started crying, some of them were like, the energy was just so contagious that I'm an adult now, so it tired me out. Normally as a child, it would also energize me to continue playing, but
I know.
At a point, I just got so tired. I was just looking at everyone.
See, children are adorable. I mean, we can't even do without children in our midst. They are so innocent. And it takes just a little thing to get their attention. Once you get their attention, bam, you have their minds. I mean, but it was so much fun on Sunday. We had a lot of fun, and I'd like to thank everyone who made it right here to Echo FM 100.7 for our Echo FM Santa Kiddies Fiesta. So we'll be looking forward to another edition. Children are already disturbing their parents. Next year, we're going to come back. We'll make sure, we have a lot of fun and all that. So I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone who made it possible. Our sponsors, our partners, Kellogg's Cocoa Pops, Kellogg's Cornflakes, Indomie Instant Noodles, B-Joy Cakes and Event, and a lot of other partners who actually helped us to make that event worthwhile. Thank you so much. We are now looking forward to the last event. We've been having series and series of activities in line with our 1 year anniversary. This 1 year baby that has been able to do all of these things is an overgrown baby already now. I know what I'm saying. So on the 21st of December, on Sunday, 21st is going to be the Echo FM Married and Smingle show. If you're single, ready to mingle, come on Sunday. If you're married, come with your partner. Would love to see you. There'll be lots of fun games. That day we'll get to find out couples that really know themselves. Do you know your wife? Yes, I know my wife. You know your husband? Yes, I know my husband. Yeah, come that day now. Then if you get to pass any of the tests we'll be giving, then why not? We'll know that, yes, you truly know whom your spouse is. However, there'll be lots and lots of fun activities. So please do not miss the 21st of December at Benchmark Hotels, Odobi Crescent, close to Maris. Close to Maris Junction, Ikenebu, Owerri. Just within that axis, try as much as you can to buy your tickets. Their tickets are up for sale, 7,000 naira for the couples, the married couples, and then 3,000 naira for the singles. It's quite affordable. So please come over to our premises, or you go to our WhatsApp and, join the group, join the community, and you get more details from there. And with that said, it's time for us to go over to the topic for today. We have two topics in one. Two topics in one. I will be trying as much as we can to break it down to your understanding. I'd like to start with the very first one, okay? And this is more like a prompter, more like a reminder, especially to our men. I know that women don't really have much time, when it comes to drinking lots of alcohol, mixing energy drink with alcohol. Women don't even do all of those things. Not all women. Some women do. But the culprits are usually the men, I know of men who cannot stay a day without taking alcohol. Not to talk of mixing it with some substance, either to make them high or to make them sleep off. I know what I'm saying. Yes, it's quite common, very common right now. So we just want to do a brief reminder to everyone who's listening. We are in the festive season. Lots of weddings to go to, lots of birthday shows to go to, lots of, one or two occasions here and there. And there is no way you will not calm down and take one or two bottles. It is not a problem, okay? But where we have a problem is mixing energy drink with alcohol. Are you aware that people mix energy drink with alcohol?
I'm very aware.
Okay, so it's really not a good thing, and we already know that these energy drinks contain caffeine. When you mix caffeine and alcohol, are you aware that there could be so much impact on your health? Are you aware? Well, if this is your first time of hearing this, please open your ears wide. Before I hand over to Best Beauty, I remember a story of a woman. I'm so sorry, I still have to share this because it's a lesson for everybody, including her. When she told me this story, she shed tears. She was crying because she was quite young at her prime. They just got married. I think they already had their 2 kids, and she was pregnant for the 3rd child. All of a sudden, one day, someone came running to her house screaming, come, Oga don't drop, Oga don't. And she's like, which one be Oga don't drop? She followed the person only for her to get there. She saw her husband on the floor. He had slumped. People were trying to revive him, but by the time they took him to the hospital, he was pronounced dead by the doctor. What happened? They said he was there in the midst of his friends. He's actually not the alcoholic, beverage type of person. And then, now when you are with your peer group and all of a sudden everyone seems to be, excited, taking alcohol, you might be tempted, to do that. However, he opted for energy drink, because he felt, alcohol might, make me feel a little bit high. I'm not used to alcohol. Let me take and that was his first time of taking energy drink. And the moment he took just 1 can, I will not mention the brand. She told me the brand. Just 1 can of energy drink, he passed out. And that was how he died. Now, this might not be similar to other people. Best Beauty's immune system might be stronger than mine. My immune system might be stronger than Best Beauty's. And you do not know people that have underlying health conditions. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Someone might be having organ failure. It might be maybe at the first stage. Maybe it's not even at the 2nd or 3rd stage. At the first stage, those symptoms might not come up at the initial stage. And then when you take something that can trigger that organ to now maybe go dead. I don't even know the right words to use, but I know I'm trying to pass on a message. And that was how that man died instantly. So some people feel that energy drink is milder than alcohol. Okay. Some people feel it is milder than most of the spirits and what they call it now, liquor that you have in the shops and in the market. Well, what works for you might not work for one person. That's exactly why we want to remind everybody this morning to be cautious. Do not mix alcohol with energy drinks or caffeinated drinks. Don't say you did not hear because of tomorrow. This is one topic. And then the second topic for today is quite another important topic. It has to do with medical emergencies. How would you recognize when something or a health challenge has become a medical emergency? We shall be talking about all these things today, but over to you, Best Beauty.
So something we should know before I start is that one is containing caffeine, while the other one is a diuretic drink, which makes you urinate a lot. That's one thing you should know. So mixing energy drinks and alcohol poses significant health risks because the stimulant in the energy drink, which is caffeine, marks the depressant effects of the alcohol. Because when you take alcohol, it's in a way, they call it a depressant. We have antidepressants and depressants. Can't do your research, you know. Leading to increased alcohol consumption, impaired judgment, and potentially life-threatening medical emergencies. Now, combining a stimulant like caffeine with a depressant like alcohol sends conflicting signals to your central nervous system. You might deceive your body, but you cannot deceive your brain. That's one quote I saw when I was researching this, and I really like. You might deceive your body that this is okay, but you will not deceive your brain. Because one is a depressant, while one is a stimulant. Now, this sends conflicting signals to your central nervous system, which creates a dangerous physiological and psychological dynamic. Now, number one, intoxication, sorry, max intoxication. The most significant danger is that the caffeine makes a person feel alert and less impaired than they actually are. And an effect sometimes called wide awake drunkenness. This false sense of sobriety causes individuals to consume more alcohol and engage in risky behavior such as drunk driving, fighting, or having dash dash dash, all while their blood alcohol concentration remains high, because you feel like, oh, because now the stimulant of the energy drink is maxing the fact that you have actually consumed a lot of alcohol. So now you're trying to deceive your body that, you can take more, when in actuality, you cannot take more. You have actually gotten to your limit, but because you're maxing it with energy drink, which is a stimulant, it's covering the other one, making you deceive your brain. Now, the other one is cardiovascular strain. Both substances independently affect the heart, but when combined, the strain intensifies. Caffeine increases heart rate and blood pressure, while alcohol consumption also impacts cardiovascular function, potentially causing irregular heartbeats, arrhythmias, or palpitations. For those with underlying heart conditions, this can be particularly hazardous. And the other one is severe dehydration. Both alcohol and caffeine act as diuretics, accelerating fluid loss from the body. Rapid and intense dehydration can cause headaches, dizziness, and a dangerous imbalance of electrolytes, which are essential minerals for nerve and muscle function. For those of you who don't know what electrolytes are, when you vomit, that means that's the most simplest way I can say. Like when you throw up or when you vomit, you lose electrolytes. So the first thing they give you is a salt and sugar solution, so that they'll try to balance. When I go to the hospital for drip, that's the first thing that they give me.
Oral drip.
Yes, they'll give you oral drip, so everything would. But I'm not saying you should take it to go to the hospital first. But that's like you have lost electrolytes. The other one is increased risks of alcohol poisoning. Because drinkers don't feel the typical signs of intoxication like fatigue, they are more likely to binge drink and reach toxic levels of alcohol in their system, increasing the risk of alcohol poisoning. And a lot of people have died from alcohol poisoning. Long-term health consequences. Repeatedly forcing the body to manage those opposing effects can lead to chronic high blood pressure, heart disease, liver damage, and kidney strain over time. Now, basically, what I've been saying is that one is a stimulant, while the other one is a depressant. Now, these two things, they do different things in your body, so they should not be taken at the same time. Like, they were advised that you should not take this food and this particular food together. I can't really think of foods now, but that's how it is. If you take those two things together, instead of you to do yourself, because I know some of you will be like, the alcohol level is too high, let me mix this thing so it will drop it. It will not drop it. I don't know. I think it's one of our shows that you were saying something like, if there's a particular amount written somewhere and you feel like if you mix something in to reduce the amount, it's not actually reducing it. It's the one particular show we did like that.
Let me come in here. Now, alcohol has a sedative effect. It makes you feel more relaxed, right? For some people.
Yes.
For some people, the moment they take alcohol, they are calm, they are relaxed, okay? However, it also has this effect of making you tired. All right. So some people feel, they want to be relaxed, but they don't want to be tired. And then they go ahead to add caffeine or a drink that has caffeine, a kind of stimulant to bring them back up. Understand what I'm trying to say? So now, so that when you take that caffeine that has been mixed with alcohol, you're not just feeling tired, but you're also a little bit active. I don't know how to balance this description.
One is a stimulant, one is a depressant, so it's keeping you
exactly
there.
So like Best Beauty said, if you've been doing this, you've been doing the wrong thing. If nobody has ever told you, we are telling you now. Especially our men. Later you say men do not live long. Women live longer because they pack all their worries, they pack all their troubles and put on the men. This is one of the reasons. Mas, you are smiling. But it's the truth. Yes. Every time you see someone who maybe, for instance, I would always use that as an example, gets married today, and in the next 4, 5, 6 years the man is gone, and you're saying, oh, it's because of family trouble, because of family pressure. Did you ever think about some other habits that man must have been involved in that must have also led to his death? Understand where I'm coming from. So please stop mixing caffeinated drinks One example is energy drinks. Stop mixing it with alcohol. It has a lot of effects. I don't know if Best Beauty mentioned that it can affect your heart. Did you
Yes,
mention
I
that?
did.
Okay. It can affect your kidneys. It can affect your liver. There are a lot of things to say, but I won't, want to go deep into that, because like I said, we have two topics, so that when we open up the phone lines, you can then call in to contribute on the two topics. Now, for the second topic for today, we'll go over to that, and then in a few minutes, I'll open up the phone lines for you to call in and ask relevant questions or contribute to the discussion for today. Medical emergencies. Very, very important topic. Like, I would always use this popular example of someone who is in a marketplace. Maybe the person actually went to shop, and all of a sudden the person drops to the floor. And people are bringing water. Pour him water, pour water on his head. You don't even know what is wrong with that person at that particular time. But the first thing that comes to your mind is pour water on him. So women will lose their wrappers, start to fan the person, blow, clear, when you don't even know if that person is having an asthma, attack, or if that person is epileptic, or, one ailment, or you don't even know. All you know at that point is pour water, he has fainted. So it is important to recognize the symptoms of a medical emergency. Though we are not medical experts, but we are doing this based on research. And I know that if there are questions you will ask concerning what we are talking about that are quite, a little bit difficult for us to answer, I would refer them to medical practitioners. So medical emergencies. Now, I want you to know that a medical emergency is a health condition or situation that needs immediate medical attention. Without professional medical care right there at that time, it could lead to serious outcomes like permanent disability or even death. When we talked about high blood pressure, and at some point we also talked about stroke, I remember I told you, if someone has high blood pressure and the person doesn't take his drugs regularly and skips his drug, and all of a sudden there is this attack, that's what I would call it. I don't know what it's called in medicine. And all of a sudden the person starts to experience stiffness of the face, or the mouth moves to one corner. And you see it and you say, nothing is wrong. It will go back.
We used to do that.
Yes, your mouth moves to one corner. Instead of you to be concerned at that point and you raise the alarm and say, please rush me to the hospital, I don't know what is wrong. You say, no, nothing is wrong with me. It will go back to the position where it was before. I don't know if you get me.
Yes.
And then you call masseuse. They start to massage it. Did you ask yourself in the first place, why did my mouth move to one corner all of a sudden? Is that even normal? That is a medical emergency. At that point, you might be lucky if you get to the hospital, they'll be able to do something. There's an injection they give to people who experience stroke, earlier on. Once they give that injection, I know that it helps stabilizes the system. But if you waste a lot of time and you do not rush that person to the hospital, whatever you see, please, you're going to take it like that. So when there is a medical emergency, that person needs medical care right away. That's what we are trying to say. Don't even start to argue. Don't even start to make assumptions. We work based on assumptions most of the time, and that is why we lose our loved ones early. Do you understand? So that's what a medical emergency is. To sum it up, what I'm trying to say is medical emergencies are illnesses or events that need professional medical care as soon as possible. If not, there could be permanent effects like disability or permanent damage to different parts of your body, or even death if it is not handled with care. So can you give me some examples? I don't know if you have examples of medical emergencies there.
Yes, we have cardiac issues, e.g. chest pain, heart attack, arm pain, shortness of breath, etc. Breathing problems, not breathing, severe difficulty breathing, asthma attacks, neurological events, stroke signs, like you said, facial drooping, weakness, speech issues. Somebody was speaking, their words start slurring, seizures, sudden confusion, loss of consciousness, severe injuries like uncontrolled bleeding, major trauma, severe burns, allergic reactions, severe allergic reactions, like somebody's eating peanuts and they start, their throat starts swelling up, they can't breathe, because some people, I think we breathe through our throats. Yes. Sometimes I forget. So, allergic reactions. Those are some examples of medical emergencies.
Is that all you have?
Yes.
Okay. I can see blood in the urine, known as hematuria, or blood in the poop. Yes, it's called melena, especially dark blood. You know, when you see dark blood in poop, that means that blood has been coming out for a while and maybe you didn't notice it early enough. Vomiting blood is a medical emergency. Dislocated bones or joints is a medical emergency. Don't go and buy mutilated whatever and start to press. Your hand don't bend though. Maybe we put them back into position and you start to press. Please, you will end up even dislocating that joint the more. And causing more harm to yourself. Okay. And then if there is fever above 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, run to the hospital. There are some kinds of fever you cannot control on your own. I even tell mothers, when your child is running temperature, at a very high temperature, you give para, it doesn't come down. You do cold compress, it doesn't come down. Please, take the child to the hospital. Don't make assumptions and say, na normal thing where they happen to children. No, every child is different. Okay. Even as an adult, you have tried everything. You have taken your first aid. It's not working. Go to the hospital. I beg you. Okay. Infections, especially when they turn into gangrene. What do I mean? You have a sore at the back of your hand or on your feet, any part of your body, and you're treating it yourself. That is what most people do, okay? Because I know that the economy is kind of difficult and a little bit tight right now. People cannot even afford a meal a day. And then you have an injury on your leg, a sore. Now you're treating it and it begins to maybe dry off. On the surface, it is drying off, but inside it, it might be fresh. And you might not know because you didn't go to a professional to help you look at that sore properly. Now, what happens when the outside is drying up and then inside you have pus or you have a fresh wound inside? It will start to decay after some days. Yes, that is what is called gangrene. It will start to decay and before you know, it starts to smell. Have you not seen injuries like that? It starts to smell and bring out a kind of watery substance. I don't know what that watery substance is called. And then you go about and it's smelling and people are running away from you. That is a medical emergency. The moment it gets to that point, don't wait again. Please go to the hospital. I have seen a case of a young man who had a very big sore on his leg. I can't actually remember what caused that injury, but he was treating it himself. At a point, it was drying off at the surface. He didn't know that the inside was still very fresh. And then it got to a point, the leg it started decaying. When he went to a hospital, they told him they were going to cut off the leg. They were going to amputate the leg. So that small thing, you think is a small thing that you can handle. If you do not go to the hospital or meet a medical professional at that time, it might lead to something more serious. I know that we are, most of us are educated. Most of us growing up, we saw these things as children. So you want to use that knowledge, that maybe my mom, anytime I fall and I have this injury, back then my mom will use hot water and press it. And before you know it will dry off. I don't know if you get me. Things were a little bit easier then. And then now there is antimicrobial resistance. There are some drugs you will take. If you used to take them then, you take them now. It might not work and you will not know. You will feel you have taken antibiotics. Understand what I'm saying? So that is a medical emergency. I know of a young boy again. I like to back up my talk with stories. Personal stories that I have seen. This young man was playing football with his friends. And then nail, pricked his leg. He took it with kiss glove. He didn't even tell his mom as at then. The mom didn't know that rusted nail pricked her child's leg. And then after some days, he started having high fever. Serious one. They rushed him to the hospital. When they got to the hospital, they started doing investigations. The boy didn't talk. He felt it was a normal injury. He didn't tell anybody. And then after all the investigations, his organs were okay, urine okay, blood. What could be the problem? And then they started doing physical, bodily, investigations. When they got to his feet, that point where the nail pricked his leg, there was pus already gathered there. And then they started pressing out. If you see what came out from this young boy's leg, then he was a little bit young, not an adult per se. They pressed and pressed and pressed until they were able to bring out all of those things out of that leg. But still, the harm had already been done because it later turned out to be tetanus. Have you heard of tetanus? Yes, very deadly. That is why when a rusted nail or anything that is rusted should prick you, go take your tetanus injection as fast as possible, or seek the services of a healthcare provider who knows how to manage it the best way. And that boy almost, when I mean almost, small thing like this, he don't almost die. It was God. Let me just say, God actually intervened in that boy's case. He spent days in the hospital just because of one thing. Understand me, if he had told his mom or he had told someone around, this nail choke me or wetin I go do, they would have known. So my point in all of this is, most of the things we neglect, most of the things we take for granted, please, it has to stop. Information is power. Someone is injured and he goes and he gets petrol, fuel, and pours on the injury, and he tells you go dry fast. It will stop the bleeding. You are introducing more germs,
in your body,
more chemicals into your body. I don't even know what else to say. I know that this is more like a lifestyle for most people. But what is bad is bad. It might not affect you at that point. Maybe years to come. All of a sudden you fall sick, they take you to the hospital, and then they say there's a particular toxin in your body. And you're asking yourself, how did it get there? Yes. It might be as a result of those habits you incorporated into your life while you were growing up. It's very possible. Or, in fact, I have a lot to say, but I feel we should open up the phone lines while we'll continue with the conversation later.
You can call us via 0911 20022, 0911 20022, or 0707 454 1014, 0707 454 1014. You can send us a message on WhatsApp on 0707 491 3438.
All right, let's hear what this person has to say. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Yes, my name is Ray of Ghostlight.
Ghostlight.
And the Ray of Ghostlight.
Oh, okay. You're welcome. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Ikemebu, Owerri here.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Please, I'm enjoying your program, and I've learned a lot of things from all that you said.
Thank you.
And I want to find out, some people say that when somebody is taking alcohol, mixing with the energy drink, then after that, you drink a liter of water or more, that it helps to neutralize the effect of that alcoholic content and all the rest of them in the body. So how true is it?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll find out and give you the answer. When you take water, after you must have mixed alcohol and caffeinated drink or energy drink, it will help neutralize. Abi? Now, no. There might be some sense, okay, in what he has said. But my point is, you have taken in that substance. It has started affecting the organ already before you decide to neutralize it.
Physiological and psychological
Thank you.
effects already.
Bring fresh meat. For instance, I just want to give a typical example. Bring fresh meat. Keep it on the table. Bring hot drink. Pour the hot drink on the fresh meat. What happens to it? Now, if you bring water and pour on that, will you wash it away? Thank you. Oh God. Now you get my point. So it's easy for you to say, I beg, the key African man, my immune system is strong. When I finish drinking this thing now, I will take water, I know what to do. No wahala. But is that going to stop the harm that has been done to your organ?
That's what I was saying. I would be like, if I drink soft drink and immediately I drink water, it's going to wash away the effect. I mean, taking the soft drink. I've already overdosed on soft drink. I've drank 2 bottles already. And I think drinking water would wash away the 2 bottles I've already drank. Check it now.
We drink water every day.
Okay.
If not, you see those toxins, all those things, all those yama yama. The water will flush it out, Abi.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It will flush it out.
It will
oh,
flush
but
it
the
out.
effect is still there.
However, the effect is there. That's my point. So I don't know if I'm making some sense. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning, this is Diva.
Good morning. Seems more like you're having an argument there.
Yes, with someone else, with a friend.
Okay, good morning to you.
Sorry for the mix-up.
You're welcome.
Basically, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, the truth is that you see, alcohol and caffeinated drinks or energy drinks, they are not good to the body, especially when you are older and the light brain. Like my body says, I am light brain. A small quantity, no matter how small alcohol I take or caffeinated drink, will affect me. It will intoxicate me, no matter how small. So I try to avoid these two things completely.
Okay.
So somebody who is older, or as you said, who have some internal problems, did not take all those things. Like somebody said that actually whether water can neutralize it. I don't think it works that way. Because there was a time I followed a friend to an occasion. So he forced me to take a little quantity of alcohol because already he knows that I don't take alcohol. And I told him, he forced me. And then when I couldn't take, they started calling me a woman. You're a woman.
Exactly.
So I was forced to take it. So when I took it, after taking it, I was highly intoxicated. I was weak. I took even 2 liters of water. It couldn't neutralize it. So my point is that to answer the question somebody asked you, even if you like, take a drum of water. It won't neutralize the effect of caffeinated drink or alcohol. Thank you. Amma from you to speak.
Thank you. Typical example coming from Amma. And some will mix these things and start to throw up terribly. When I mean, they will throw and they will go back again. Another day.
Because they are men.
That came from you, not from me.
No, there's a statement he made, and that's peer pressure. It's very bad though. Normally, you would never take that in on a normal circumstance. Because my guy, now men take this thing.
Thank you.
Don't listen. No, your life is at stake.
You're a woman.
That might be your first and last time of drinking that thing in your life.
I gave you a typical example of someone I know. I told you that the woman lost her husband
first time.
because he gave in to peer pressure. We are not saying do not take alcohol, or don't get us wrong. We are only against the mixing of these things together. It can harm your organs. Please, that is number 1 topic. Number 2 topic, medical emergencies and when you should go to the medical professional to seek their services. It's not everything that can be handled at home. That's what we are trying to say this morning. All right, we lost that call. And we're live on Facebook at Echo FM, ECHOFM. Go right now to Facebook and you'll see me. You'll see Best Beauty. Try as much as you can to drop your comments. Is it Echo FM 100.7? That's where we are, not the old page. Echo FM 100.7. When you go there, you'll see myself, you'll see Best Beauty. Drop your comments and we'll be here to read it out as fast as we can. We already have some comments. Chidogo Obiasogu says, good morning, Ndi Echo FM. Oh, what is wrong with your network? Oh, what network? Are you talking about the phone network or the transmission network? So we can know, exactly how to address it. If it's the transmission network, I assure you that we are working tirelessly and the engineers are doing their job. on the maintenance. Before you know it will be done and network will be restored in most parts of Owerri. If you're talking about phone network, you'd have to ask network providers. Okay, Precious Ehirim says, Golden Ladies of Echo FM, I greet you. Compliments of the season to you, Precious Ehirim. We cite you. Atahere, hey God, oh, let me not bite my tongue. Atebiefa says, keep up the good work and God bless you. God bless you too. We see you. Keep your calls coming in if you want to contribute to the topics for today.
0911 20,022, 0911 20,022, or 0707 454 1014, 0707 454 1014. You can send us a message on our WhatsApp line through 0707 491 3438.
Okay, try as much as you can to reach us, and yes, let's have a conversation around the topics. Okay, I actually don't know what's wrong with that particular line. Maybe that's what that person is, complaining about, that the network is actually poor. Try as much as you can to reach us or send us a WhatsApp message on 0707 4913438. Okay, so I was telling you about medical emergencies. There's also pain in specific places, like your chest pain. People complain about chest pain a lot, and they tell you it is a normal thing I have. I started having chest pain as a child, so it's not new to me.
There's nothing normal about it.
It's not normal. When it's severe, please go see a healthcare provider. Okay. And then we have severe diarrhea, severe vomiting. Like Best Beauty mentioned, when you have severe diarrhea and vomiting, you lose electrolytes. If you do not replace them immediately, sorry is your name. Some people will be having diarrhea and they go and eat yam. They go and eat bread.
Yes, they'll say it will stop it from coming out. It's a strong food. I've heard that
bread,
thing before.
Yam, Well, hey, God, if you eat those things, you want to stop the diarrhea, what happens to the electrolytes you have lost? How would you replace them?
And aside that one, even when that food particle is coming out, it will be very strong. It will tear your lining. I've been there before. This is life experience. It will tear your lining, and before you know when you are explaining blood and the rest. But there's different kinds of blood in that. Some of them is your lining. Some of them is actually a underlying disease in your body. So just know what you're eating. Be careful.
Okay, let's see. Thank God this has connected.
Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Lynn Divan, Best Beauty, how are you doing today?
Fine,
Doing great. What's your name, please?
I'm Brother Shedrack, calling from Adago Street, Owerri.
Compliments of the season, Brother Shedrack.
Same to you, my beloved ones here.
Go ahead.
Well, from your discuss this morning, I just want to issue some word of advice for some young men. This is a festive period. Just like Amma shared his own experience. I was once lured into drinking alcohol one certain time, but I will not tell you what happened. But that is by the way. And there was once one of my brother whom I discussed with at Owerri here, only to get home and heard he had died.
Hi.
On 30th December 2007. How did it happen? He went home. He used to smoke a cigar. He went home and when they get to where they are doing a wedding celebration, the peer group lured him into taking a Igbo. After doing that, it started scratching him. Went and entered a small stream around there, and that was the end. So you see, people should be careful of how they listen to peer group's pressure, because it has killed a lot of many people. Then where I'm looking at is that as you are talking of emergency, of what a medical emergency, just like for these people who don't have anybody to talk them to hospitals, like if you go to a place like Douglas now or other places within Owerri, you will see a lot of people there with different kinds of ailments, and no one is caring for them. Wouldn't it be good that the government should be concerned about people like that? Would it be possible the government should be concerned about people like that? At least why making budget in a year? They make budgets for people like that. You come up and take some of them and go to hospital because the government can cater for people like that. Because sometimes some of those diseases as they are going around, some might be begging and doing some other things. They will be spreading some of the infection from that diseases to other people who are healthy. So that's just the area I'm looking at myself.
Thank you.
Then other issues you have talked of, that is exactly. But one thing I want to say is that you see, sometimes when an emergency comes, some of the time, people around become confused. And it's just by the grace of God that person can be saved. Outside that, wrong attention can be given, and worst thing happen. But may God help us. Thank you, and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Shadrach. I understand. And I know, that when there's an emergency, you get totally, all of a sudden, it will seem more like your mind is blank. Understand me? You might not know exactly the next step to take because you're confused. Someone is passing out and you don't know what to do. And that's why we are trying as much as we can to enlighten the public. Very soon, I would also invite somebody, an expert who would come once again to tell us exactly what we can do, when there are these medical emergencies, so that we do not lose our loved ones. Okay. All right. We are still taking more of your calls. We have this message on WhatsApp, and it says, "Good afternoon, my erudite sisters in the studio. I am Engineer Ibe Charles." Best Beauty, how you see Engineer Ibe Charles? I'm trying to get this picture. Engineer Ibe.
He's very handsome.
Engineer Ibe, somebody, are you crushing on him?
No. But he's very handsome. You're
Engineer
very, very
Ibe
handsome.
Charles from Owerri. Somebody says you are handsome. Okay. Now, he says, "I have learned a lot from you both this morning." Thank you so much, Engineer Ibe Charles, for listening. We appreciate you as usual. We have more messages on Facebook. William Smith says, "Good morning, my people." Good morning to you, Williams. Ozigi.
My so says, "I'm Ozigi from Ingbidi. Beautiful ladies, what of mixing stout and beer with palm wine?"
Anything mixing is not good for your organs.
Palm wine is very good on its own. Like, why do you want to mix that beautiful, wonderful, sweet
Palm
drink?
wine is natural.
Yes.
Palm wine is natural.
Yes, now palm wine is very nice on its own. The feeling is different.
Is that what? Is that what? The feeling is is that feeling you see?
Okay, now, you eat the
is that feeling you see? Is that feeling that has put a lot of people into trouble? Mixing palm wine with beer, something that is natural.
Okay.
Why must you mix it with something else that is, chemically combined?
Especially the hot part. Like, this time when they gave us palm wine, like, they said that they just tapped it that morning. I don't know how the thing becomes warm or somehow. We drank it. I was like, this is so nice.
Okay.
Palm wine is very nice on its own. Then you mix it with something that they process in the factory. No, don't do that.
Okay, so what we're trying to say is mixing, any mixology at all. I don't know what you mix, but I just want you to know that research has shown that it is harmful to your organs. Okay, there's still a lot of medical emergencies we have not talked about. Trouble breathing, sudden vision loss. I know of someone who told me one time that all of a sudden, when she's walking on the street, she starts to experience blur vision. It will seem more like she can't see, but she can see, but she's seeing like double. And at that point, I told her, this is a sign of something. It's something that has never happened to you. But if it's now becoming constant, please go and see a doctor. And lo and behold, she went. And then I know they told her she was suffering from diabetes or something like that. Yes, there's a link. So that was how she found out that she had diabetes. She didn't know, before that particular thing happened to her. Why are you looking at me? Okay. So lots of medical emergency. We have severe swelling, especially around your airway or your eyes. And you wake up and you feel it's ordinary Apollo. You feel it's a normal thing because it's red or it's pinkish. You say, it's the season, it's Apollo season. How are you certain it is Apollo? And then you start to put your morning urine in your eye, or you put breast milk in your eye because you feel, you feel it's Apollo. It might not even be Apollo. It's possible that something entered into your eye and you didn't know and then caused an eye injury. Okay. Unexpected passing out or fainting, weakness or paralysis on one side of the body or specific parts of your body. These are all medical emergencies that we should know about. So we not talk about appendicitis. Very important. Eye trauma, I have talked about that, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of things. There are still a lot of medical emergencies. I don't know if you have more, Best.
Yes, we have a couple here. Ovarian or testicular torsion, which is twisting in your ovaries and testicles, is a medical emergency. Seizures, including any first-time seizures lasting over 5 minutes. When people, it's like epileptic seizures. They will start vibrating and convulsing and everything. Poisoning, food poisoning, alcohol poisoning, anything that has poisoning in it, that's also a medical emergency that should be taken care of immediately. Mental health emergencies like thoughts of harming yourself or others, please remove yourself from that place. It's an emergency. Yeah, I think that's the couple I have here.
Okay, so now you have heard this morning, medical emergencies, if not properly attended to, could get disastrous.
Hello, good morning. What's the name and where are you calling from?
Once more, best beauty and blame diva.
Good
You
morning.
see, the problem with our society, 95% of all these medical emergencies are attributed to spiritual projection. No, how to that is the order of the day. That is the belief of so many people. Thank you. I'm from Uche.
Thank you. So
Okay, Amma is also raising an important point. Projection. People would always want to tag these medical emergencies as spiritual projection, and because of that, they wouldn't, rush their loved ones to the hospital as fast as they can. Well, we're not here to tell you what to believe in. However, God even said it. When faith without work is dead.
True.
I believe, that when there's a medical emergency and you are praying, as you're praying, you can be taking the person to the hospital.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why those people are trained, because they're also God's.
While you are praying, while you are praying for God's intervention, also be taking that person to the hospital. Especially if it is a condition you cannot handle on your own. On your way to the hospital, God can still intervene and turn things around. Yes, no doubt. Even right there in the hospital, God can still intervene through the doctors or through the nurses or whoever is going to attend to that person. So we do not rule out the God factor. No. All we are saying is let the right things be done. That is just what we are trying to say. Okay. So unfortunately, I'll have to call out the government on this one, because when you're talking about medical emergencies, the government has a lot of role to play. We have talked about us having emergency numbers. We do not have emergency numbers as a country. It is a terrible thing. I don't even know when we are going to have it. When is it going to be active? Just a code, just a number that people can dial when there's an emergency.
I think
we do not have that.
112. I've heard of 112 before. I've tried calling
Is it
them.
working?
I called the I tried using one of my service provider. It didn't work. I tried the other one. It worked. Somebody answered. Then immediately I said something, person just cut the call. I was like,
Now, I understand there are some medical emergency numbers. My point is how swift will they respond to you?
True.
Because most of those numbers, when you call them, is either they are in Abuja or in Lagos.
and they would they'll still tell you that, oh, so sorry, we're not in your region.
And then they redirect you
exactly, and
to
the one
your
they redirect
state.
you to, they will not pick
Thank you. So these numbers are there. They are not effective. Let us tell ourselves the truth. If you are in the United States of America, anywhere you are, even if it is inside a hole, inside the bush, inside underground, you dial 911. Bam, you get a response.
We Nigerians even know 911.
Yes. And then if someone is dying and maybe all of a sudden the person picks up the phone, calls 911 and is talking and passes out, they already know that something is wrong with that person.
Yes, they'll track
and they track the call. They track that person immediately and go there to first of all find out, is this person okay? I know you dialed the number, but all of a sudden we couldn't hear you. God have mercy. When is this going to happen in Nigeria? And that's why we keep losing people on daily basis, because we have people who maybe when there's an emergency, there might be nobody at that place at that time to help them. The ambulance system here is something else. We don't even have street ambulances. Ambulances that should be at one location or the other. If there's an emergency, you don't need to wait for, an ambulance to come from Amakohia to Ebu. You should have one stationed at Ebu Junction or Ebu Road. Once there's an emergency, that person responds. If there's an emergency at Akabo, you don't expect the ambulance to come from Okigwe.
Okay.
Understand what I'm saying? If there's an ambulance stationed at Oji, before you know it, the person has gotten to Akabo. So these are the things we need to work on. While we are sensitizing people, we need to also play our part as a government. I don't know who is listening, but these are ideas I am sharing. Ministry of Health, I know you listen to this program every time. These are things you should be thinking about. Work towards it. We have primary healthcare centers. That is still another investigation I'm going to do. However, I know I have it on credible, information that some of those primary healthcare centers do not have enough manpower. Yes, that is the truth.
True.
So you can incorporate all of these things. That's what makes up a good government. Please, we need to really strengthen the healthcare system in Imo State. I don't want to talk about Nigeria in general. Nigeria is large. Let us focus on Imo, where we are. We should strengthen this healthcare system so that people will stop dying on a daily basis. Wow. And then caffeine and energy drink. I will comment on that, but Best Beauty, parting words before we go.
If you are in a case whereby you are with the person that has the medical emergency, I don't think we were able to list out the things they should do, but just in case you're in that place, first of all, you have to call the emergency line, which is what we're talking about. There's no emergency line. So contact the hospital very close by, and if you see that it's something that they'll be like, oh, it's the person breathing, these normal things you see in movies, things like that really happen. You should make sure the environment is safe. Make sure that the person can breathe properly. Check for safety, because it might be that it's a trap. Nigeria now, somebody will slum. It's kidnapping scheme. So make sure that you check very if the place is safe. Then, if it's something you can provide first aid. If you don't have to provide first. If you don't know, please don't touch the person.
Thank you.
If you can't provide first, don't touch that person. Or you might even make it. Maybe the person is having a spinal. You will not turn. No, don't do that.
We've said that a lot of times. How a medical doctor got paralyzed because he was involved in a fatal accident, and while trying to help, they lifted him all of a sudden, and that was it. That was the end. Till now, as I speak to you, he's bedridden. That's what you're trying to say.
Don't do that. Don't touch the person if you're not a first aid responder. Wait for the first aid responders to come. Then when they will carry the person to the hospital, they should just make sure you call for the medical outfit. You make sure that you're with the person and do the needful. Thank you.
Okay, so please do not mix energy drinks, caffeinated drinks with alcohol. And when there's a medical emergency, please try your best. I know it's not easy this period, but try your best to rush the person to the hospital and do the needful. Thank you for listening. My name is Mary Omeniwode. You can call me the Slim Diva. You're most adorable.
And my name is Best Beauty.
Thank you, DJ Mas. We'll bring you the news in few seconds. Stay tuned.
Echo FM.
It's the sound of the city. Echo 100.7.
This week to help those in need.
If you know that it's God Almighty that created you and created we Nigerians like you need to do good things for us because the masses are suffering. How you can suspend me here? Are we your slaves?
And I'm going to win this election.
That is the truth.
Stay informed with Echo FM 100.7. Join us for exclusive interviews with experts, breaking updates on local and global events, and in-depth coverage of issues impacting our community. Tune in every weekday at 6:30 a.m., 12 noon, 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. for our major news bulletin in English, Igbo, and Pidgin language. For more inquiries, you can reach us through our email, echofm@thekingmail.com. You can follow us on our social media handles at Echo FM. Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. We are the Fresh News People. It's the news at noon on Echo FM 100.7.
Good afternoon. This is the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7, the station with fair and balanced reporting. My name is Mary Omeniwode, bringing you the latest news and breaking stories around the world. Here are the headlines. Presidency opposition clash over alleged weaponizing of EFCC. FIRS alleges Northern Elder sovereignty fear over France's MOU. Dangote names 739 naira as new petrol pump price. US, Nigeria close to finalizing strategic framework on insecurity, says Riley Moore. ECOWAS rejects Guinea-Bissau's military transition plan, demands swift return to constitutional rule. And Salah heads to AFCON as Liverpool's future remains uncertain. Details shortly. Our sincere apologies for the mix-up in the headlines. I will take it once again. Bosan raises the alarm over one-party dominance in Nigeria. Police arrest 58-year-old man over wife's death in Imo State. Federal government to build 3,700 telecom towers in rural communities. Ex-UN chief warns Security Council risks irrelevance without reform. On the foreign scene, U.S. Embassy warns Nigerians against visa fraud. And Scotland coach cautions fans against debts ahead of World Cup. Details shortly. The body of Senior Advocates of Nigeria, Bosan, has warned that Nigeria's federal system is under threat due to the dominance of a single political party, stressing that a weakened opposition places increased responsibility on the judiciary. The body said the current political environment has reduced checks and balances, making judicial independence crucial to democratic stability. Bosan also cautioned against what it described as the criminalization of politics, urging judges to courageously defend constitutional rights and the rule of law. It noted that while religious leaders have played their roles in moral guardians, the responsibility of safeguarding democracy rests squarely on the justice system. In response, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, acknowledged growing public expectations and heightened scrutiny of the judiciary. She reaffirmed that the courts remain the last line of defense for the Constitution, stressing that accountability is vital to maintaining public confidence in the justice system. And back home, the Imo State Police Command has arrested a 58-year-old man, Vitalis Nwoko, over the alleged killing of his wife, Uloma, following a domestic dispute. Police said the incident was reported by the deceased sister at the Ahiazumbise Divisional Headquarters. According to the police, preliminary investigations reveal that a misunderstanding between the couple on December 11 escalated into a physical altercation during which the woman collapsed. She was rushed to the hospital where she was confirmed dead by a medical doctor. The suspect has been transferred to the State Criminal Investigations Department in Owerri for further investigations. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma, urged residents to promptly report domestic violence cases, assuring that perpetrators will be dealt with decisively. And still on national stories, the Nigerian Immigration Service has reaffirmed its commitment to combating migrant smuggling and protecting migrants' rights as Nigeria marks International Migrant Day. The Comptroller General Kemi Nandap described migrant smuggling as a serious transnational crime that threatens life and national security. Represented by the Deputy Comptroller General, Namdak noted that smuggling networks now exploit digital platforms, falsify travel documents, and operate across borders, preying on vulnerable individuals seeking better opportunities abroad. She stressed the need for adaptive strategies due to Nigeria's role as a source, transit, and destination country. The Immigration Service highlighted strong collaboration with international partners, including ECOWAS, the African Union, IOM, and the UNODC. Nanda pledged that the service would continue dismantling smuggling networks while protecting the dignity and rights of migrants, especially women and children. Meanwhile, gunmen have abducted a retired customs officer, Emmanuel Owolabi, in Ora community along the Osun-Kwara boundary, throwing residents into panic. The attack reportedly occurred in front of the victim's residence on Akisa Road. According to his wife, Titilayo, the incident happened shortly after she returned home to prepare dinner when gunshots rang out at the entrance of their compound. The attackers reportedly escaped into the bush with the victim. Community sources also revealed that the gunmen shot dead a village chief identified as Dennis while fleeing the scene. The Osun State Police Command confirmed the incident, adding that security operatives have been deployed to comb the surrounding forests. And still on insecurity matters, the Borno State Police Command has successfully defused an unexploded ordnance planted beneath a telecom mast in Maiduguri. The operation followed a distress report received by the IET Police Division. The police said the explosive ordnance disposal team safely neutralized the device, preventing potential loss of lives and property. Following the operation, security officials conducted safety sensitization within the community. Residents have been urged to remain vigilant and promptly report suspicious objects. The command reassures the public of its commitment to protecting lives and property across the state. It's exactly 8 minutes past noon. If you just joined us, this is the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7. Here's a recap of the headlines. Bosan raises the alarm over one-party dominance in Nigeria. Police arrest 58-year-old man over wife's death in Imo. Federal government to build 3,700 telecom towers in rural communities. On the foreign scene, ex-UN chief warns Security Council risk irrelevance without reform. U.S. Embassy warns Nigerians against visa fraud. And Scotland coach cautions fans against debt ahead of World Cup. We'll bring you details after this break. Stay tuned.
This is a public service announcement. In an effort to enhance road safety and minimize the risks of crash-related fatalities, Federal Road Safety Corps Imo Sector Command is urging citizens to promptly report any road crashes to the Corps Emergency Hotline. In the event of a road crash, citizens are advised to call the Corps Emergency Toll-Free Hotline at 122 to report the incident or any of the Imo Sector Hotline 0913-960-0904. Provide as much information as possible, including the location of the crash and the number of people involved. Stay on the line to receive guidance from the Corps Response Team. The Sector Commander urges all citizens to take an active role in promoting road safety by promptly reporting any road crashes. Together, we can work towards reducing the rate of road crash fatalities and creating safer roads for everyone. This message is brought to you by Echo FM 100.7 in partnership with the Federal Road Safety Corps Imo Sector Command as part of our corporate social responsibility. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back. This is still the Global News right here on Echo FM 100.7. Over now to the rest of the news. In business, the federal government has announced plans to fund the construction of 3,700 telecom towers in underserved rural communities across Nigeria. The initiative aims to connect over 23 million Nigerians currently without reliable mobile and internet services. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Bosun Tijani said the project has received approval from President Bola Tinubu and the Federal Executive Council. He noted that the towers would enable access to digital services, education platforms, financial inclusion, and e-government services. The minister stressed that the initiative goes beyond commercial interest, describing it as a national development effort to ensure inclusive participation in Nigeria's digital economy, regardless of location. Over now to the foreign scene, where the former United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has warned that the UN Security Council risks becoming irrelevant unless it urgently undertakes meaningful reforms. Speaking during an open debate on leadership for peace in New York, Ban urged world leaders to overcome rivalry and distrust, warning that continued confrontation among major powers could push the world towards catastrophe rather than cooperation. Ban said global conditions have worsened since he left office in 2016, citing conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza, rising civilian casualties, weakening multilateralism, and accelerating climate crisis. He blamed much of the problem on the Security Council's failure to function effectively, particularly the repeated use of veto powers by permanent members to shield themselves and their allies from accountability. The former UN chief also called for reforms in the selection of the next Secretary General, proposing a single non-renewable 7-year term to strengthen the office independence. And still on the foreign scene, the United States Embassy in Abuja has warned Nigerians against visa fraud, stating that submitting false information or fake documents could lead to permanent visa bans. The warning was issued via a post on the embassy's official social media account. The advisory followed a meeting between U.S. Ambassador Richard Mills and Nigeria's Foreign Minister Yusuf Toga, where both countries discussed areas of cooperation. The embassy also referenced concerns raised by U.S. lawmakers over Nigeria's security challenges, emphasizing the need for stronger bilateral collaboration to protect vulnerable communities. And lastly, on sports this afternoon, Scotland national team coach Steve Clarke has urged fans not to go into debt to support the team at next year's FIFA World Cup in the United States. He spoke as supporters began applying for match tickets. FIFA has faced criticism over high ticket prices, with fans expected to pay significant amounts to attend group matches and fixtures against top teams like Brazil. Clarke expressed hope that dedicated supporters will be able to attend affordably, noting that fans who travel long distances deserve fair access to tickets. And that's all for the global news this afternoon. This was edited by Benjamin Joseph. For more information and inquiries, visit our social media handles on Facebook at Echo FM, X at Echo FM_Owerri, Instagram at Echo FM 100.7, and YouTube at Echo FM 100.7. You can listen to us anywhere in the world by logging on to www.echofm.net. That is www.echofm.net. My name is Mary Omeni Wode. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon to you.